It's November 2020. Can you imagine in like 1 month the year is ending? And if there's something that I think I've learned the most out of this year is the fact that you really need to take care of yourself before anything else in this world. And that's what Chanda tells me when she talks about her brand, her baby, Lizom, which she started in Dubai. It's a sanitary napkin organic brand which has also been recognized by the Dubai police. And it is being run by this wonderful woman who shares her journey, how she started it, what prompted her to start it, what are the kind of things she learned in her research, and how periods can actually be pain-free. And she gives me a wonderful hack for that as well. And she also tells me about why it is so important to make a shift from your regular pads to a sustainable one. So go check out the interview. I'm sure you're going to have fun and take care of yourself and keep taking care of yourself above everybody else, because that's what matters the most. And I will see you next month, December 2020. Tada! Lots of love. Thanks for supporting. And before I go, please like, share, subscribe, because I need followers. Bye.
It's a pleasure to have you, and I'm so happy you could make time for me. Thank you. Firstly, I would like to begin with a big gratitude to you.
Thank you so much. I think the pleasure is all mine, Karishma. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna start. So this is what I do in the very beginning. I dive right into your journey. Tell me about what's your journey to becoming an entrepreneur queen like, and how did Lizom come in the whole scene, and what really prompted you to start that?
Very cliche question, Karishma, but I think the answer is always interesting when you hear it from, different women. So being an entrepreneur, I would say I've been an entrepreneur whole of my life. I have done a restaurant, I have done an event company, I have done some small stunts in India as well. So I'm a Sindhi girl, so somewhere it runs in my blood. But I believe that entrepreneurship is no one's royalty. You can start it at any point of time. That's you being an entrepreneur. Either you're 21 or you are at 71. It is equally exciting to be an entrepreneur. For me, Lizom has been there in my mind from last few years. So the product is an organic biodegradable sanitary napkin. So why I'm mentioning this is because it comes out of my own personal experience. I had been suffering for a few years. And that time, many years ago, say 4-5 years ago, I was searching for the right product. There wasn't anything available. I would switch from one to another. One had some perfume, one had some good design, but it wasn't serving my purpose. I had few issues with them. I wasn't comfortable with the product, and I didn't know what is it that I don't like about the product. So that's how I started searching for more and more and more. But it was never in my mind that I want to make one. It just so happened that I lost a friend of mine to a uterine cancer. Oh. And that triggered me. That triggered a lot of thoughts in me. That what is it that we women are not doing right? What is it that can change this whole narrative? So I was researching, and I realized while I speak, I always have goosebumps. This subject is like, it's literally, I don't know, I cannot, on camera, it's difficult to be that emotional. But let's move to the real conversation. So, yes. So I was searching for what's the problem, why we are facing it, and I realized that there were several problems we women are facing just because of this tiny little 7-inch piece of cloth or material called a sanitary pad. Because there's no rule in the whole world how it should be made. There is no regulation which will control what should go inside it. And imagine that women are keeping this piece of material close to their body, touching their body for many years, every single month, every single year. There is no escape. And we have never given a thought that what we are putting inside our body. Yeah. And this research was like, there are chemicals in sanitary pads which can be harmful to you. And it just went into my head that there is a little possibility somewhere that my friend who I lost had this problem, but she wasn't able to diagnose it because no one knows about it, that there are these all regular commercial pads. They have chemicals in it. They have a lot of plastic in it which traps the moisture inside, and it doesn't let you breathe. and there is a lot of chances of bacteria and bacteria growing inside. But that is not yet proven. There is no direct link that I can mention that cancer or chemicals have, but we know that chemicals have been harmful. So this is how I was like, okay, let me search for the best one. Again, there was nothing available in UAE. Then it made a lot of sense to bring it to UAE so that what I have suffered, others can also understand that there is a solution available. This is how I started. Yeah, that's how. And online was the best way to reach out to the millennial women today. So we are selling online. First thing that for me was assuring when I used some other brand was that my irritation had reduced and my rashes completely went away. I'm a little on a heavy side, not really fat, but I am not a very slim trim girl. So I'm assuming that I used to have a lot of moisture trapped in that area, which the other pads were not able to do the right job, or maybe the chemicals were doing their job. So my rashes completely went away. The experience would be something, either it can be period pain, it can be rashes, it can be your migraine. Also, some women have come back and said that their migraine has reduced. I don't know whether it is related. They will come and tell us, but yes, it is related because chemicals do their job in several things. And you feeling fatigued because that moment, if there are fumes of chemicals going inside your body, and there will be definitely a different kind of aura inside you. So that was the change. And then women also who are extremely pro sustainability, for them it was a very different feel that they as women are not contributing towards those landfills. So if you would know, I would just like to share, I don't know if you know, the first ever pad made 150 years ago is still lying somewhere in the landfills because it takes 500 years to biodegrade one sanitary pad. So none of them has biodegraded. So we are sitting probably after a few years, we'll be all sitting on that dump only. So these women who have been conscious about their environment surrounding this pad, it takes in controlled condition, it takes 6 months to biodegrade. Some women came up and said that, oh, my earlier pad had quick absorption or this or that. It just takes 1 or 2 cycles for you to understand this pad and you get adjusted because the absorption procedure is different. The thing is that this pad is designed in such a way that a woman doesn't use a pad for more than 4 to 5, maximum 6 hours. Because many women have this practice of using one pad from morning to evening because assuming it is soaking a lot. But if you will check the blood on the pad, by the end of the day, it turns blue on normal commercial pads. This pad, it will still remain red till the time you take it off. You can see that the blood is red on the pad because there's no chemical in it.
How challenging it was to set up an online business in Dubai at the moment, especially when e-commerce is so relevant right now. How was it? How was the experience?
So I would say a cakewalk.
Yeah.
Setting up is not a problem. Setting up is not a problem. Most of the things, they happen from the confinement of my room, including my license. Everything today in Dubai is so very much possible.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's becoming even more economical. To start is not an issue. The thing is that if you have done your calculations good and you know what is your expense for the year and how much you will need money, and you're balanced and you know how to move forward, it is a cakewalk. The challenge is being the online, creating awareness online. The challenge is being how to reach the women who can actually know about it and buy it. The challenge is being not even conversion, but actually that one conversation which helps her understand why she should be switching. That has been a challenge.
2 period myths that you would bust based on your research and based on everything that you know.
There are a few things which our grandmother, mother, or aunt, uncle, I don't know, whoever would have told you about that. When you are in periods, don't do this, don't do that. In my journey and my reading, what I realized, Karishma, is that most of them were really important for us women to understand. Why they told us that be in your room when you have periods, don't touch this, don't touch that. When I have read several stories, I'm a very big fan of reading. So I have realized that they had a scientific reason which they did not explain, or maybe that wasn't cascaded down under the generations to reach to us in the same way it was conceived at that moment. So when they say that during periods don't go to XYZ place, the objective there was that this time is where women is going through a lot of changes. So she should not be put under other different pressures. Like she was asked, don't go to the worship place, or don't go and travel. Travel, that's a better example, I believe. And then do not come out of your room, stay there. Don't do so much work in your kitchen. Kitchen was the main battlefield at that point of time.
Yeah.
So they were told not to do this because women were supposed to take rest during this time. She was not supposed to take so much of exertion. It's a whole process that's going on inside your body. So those today we consider them as myths that okay, you should not do XYZ during the maybe the reason was not scientific, but those are not myths to me. I feel that I'm still good. And today women should be able to speak about those things, say openly that I have my periods today and I cannot do XYZ because I want to take care of myself. It's this time a woman is impure and do not touch, do not do this. That's the second thing.
Yeah.
The pickle will get dirty or I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
The real reason, which in my study shows, at that point of time, it was completely understood how important it is for a woman to be clean, cleansed during this time. We're talking about blood, we're talking about culture. If you leave it uncleaned, it can turn into something else. There can be bacterial infection, there can be other things. It's a live thing, which comes out of your body. So that time, women or whoever has that time set this a standard that you are impure, don't go out and do this. The actual thing was that you have to keep yourself clean, and is why do not involve into something else. Cleanliness for yourself is important. So how do you explain someone that you have to keep cleanliness? It was somewhere just started like that. Okay, you're impure. That means you have to go and worship yourself, be clean, be clean. The whole idea and objective was to keep yourself clean.
Where do you see yourself going with Lizom? What are your goals in mind for this brand, and how are you planning to take it forward?
One simple goal: as many women as possible should be impacted either with the product or with the conversation or both.
3 tips for caring, tips for care for women to, be more healthy during that time of the month that we all do, and not feel like that it is a special time of the month. So 3 tips for women to,
I'll go.
basic tips to just be comfortable.
I think everybody, every woman will get one signal or get signals for her to understand what is good for her. So without being preachy, I'm going to share something. This I'm sure many other people who are against use of sugar will definitely kill me. I'm going to mention this, and there's an article on our website also about this. So while I was growing up, I love fizzy drink. I used to love, not now, that time, I used to love fizzy drinks. And for me, my period pain will just go if I've had half a glass of this. Trust me, and it was magic.
Really?
Trust me on this. And I have shared this with many women, and many of them, they find that this is true for them. So not everyone, many of them.
Oh my God.
It was a real hack for me.
Yeah.
There is an article on the website. Please read if you find time for that. And many women have different hacks. So the tip is that something find out that you like, either to eat or to do. Maybe not overdo. As I said, I used to just have half a glass, and I would just gulp it up. And within seconds, my pain will go. And it will not be there for another, say, half a day or full day. And then I would repeat for 2-3 days, half a glass. So, I'm sorry, but this is not the best advice.
I'm going to wait to try this now.
Love yourself. Period. The moment you start loving yourself, everything falls into place. You will love yourself first, and then you love anyone else. Even a monkey does that. So if you put a monkey and a monkey's baby, you know how possessive monkeys are. You put monkey's baby in water. First monkey would put it up on the shoulder, baby is on the shoulder, then on the head. But when the water comes here, He will leave the baby, he will fast swim. So I'm not saying do that, I'm saying that first love yourself enough. You will find ways to do what you want to do. You have to love yourself. Women keep telling themselves, now we become progressive and we tell ourselves, oh, I love myself too much. But we actually do not take care of ourselves that much. Our emotional, our physical, everything that we do in our lives should be connected to our feeling. It should be connected to how you want to live your life. Once you are the center of the universe, I believe everything else is around you. So when I say love yourself, it doesn't mean that you be selfish and love yourself. What I'm saying is that you want certain things from other people. So what do you do so that you get what you want?